So, good morning, friends. I again welcome you all in this class of video lecture, and we have taken up a new poem by Donne, and the title of the poem is Valediction forbidding mourning. So, yesterday we did the very first stanza of the poem. I again read the first stanza. You could look at the first stanza. As virtuous men pass mildly away and whisper to their souls to go, while some of their sad friends do say, the breath goes now, and some say no. So the poet says in the very first stanza, virtuous people are not afraid of death. Death is not horrible for them. They pass away mildly, quietly, gently, and they ask their souls to depart from this world without any mourning and crying, even though their friends are sad at their death and want that they should live here for some times more. Others do not want them to die at all. So, friends, since the poem is about valediction, the poem is about departure, the poem is about separation, and all these things, separation, departure, are painful, and they are more painful for lovers, for the lover and the beloved. And here the lover has to go away. He has been going to France for some exclusive purpose. So naturally his beloved is greatly disturbed, and she has not been in a position to bear this situation. So the poet piles up, the lover collects up a number of arguments to prove that even after their separation, the love which prevails between them will not come to an end. It is not only a union of two bodies. You see, Donne has been a great love poet, and the poet says that love does not mean union. Love doesn't mean union of the two bodies. It is not merely the union of the two bodies, but rather it is the union of the two souls. It is the union of two minds, right? And when there is the union of two minds, then physical separation does not matter. And the poet says at the very beginning of the poem that just as virtuous man, noble man, good man passes when they die, and when they die silently, quietly, without making any noise, without weeping and crying, and they ask their souls to depart because they know that death is the reality of life. That's why they are called virtuous men. So, in the same way, he has been requesting his beloved not to cry over his departure. She should behave like the virtuous man. Virtue has been that part of life which is often chased by noble persons. This is very important. It is virtue which makes one, you know, significant. It is virtue which makes the difference. Otherwise, all men would be equal. But why some men are more, you know, they are more respectable for us? They are respectable. Why are they respectable? Because they hold some virtues. So that's why the lover says, requests that while some of their sad friends do say, when we die, when we go away, when we get separated, our friends say that you stay for some time more, do not go right now, right? But this is not the desired human behavior. The human behavior must obtain some balanced approach, right? So again, I read the very first stanza that is very important of this poem. As virtuous man passes mildly away and whisper to their souls to go, while some of their sad friends do say, the breath goes now, and some say no. Naturally, out of love, out of friendship, out of compassion, the relatives, the wives, the husbands, the friends are not able to accept the stern reality of life, and they say that stay for some time, do not go right now. But can death stay? Who can escape death? Who can escape separation? No one is able to escape separation. Separation is the part and parcel of life. In the same way, death is the part and parcel of life. So, only virtuous men can accept such realities of life. And the poet says to learn something from these virtuous men. That's why the very first line has the reference of virtue. You know, there has been much written about virtue. There has been much written about conscience. It is virtue which wins the soul. Alexander Pope writes in Rape of the Lock, that is the famous mock epic. What does he say? At the end of the Rape of the Lock, I quote, beauty is in vain, their pretty eyes may roll. Charms strike the sight, but merit wins the soul. It is merit, finally, it is merit which wins the soul. All physical appearance, all physical charms, attractions, all carnal pleasures, all sensual pleasures, all outward appearance has its spell only for a time being. But ultimately, which is able to win the soul, which is able to imprint its lasting impression on us, it is only merit, it is only virtue, right? So we read the second stanza. So let us melt, so let us depart, let us get separated and make no noise, no tear floods, nor sigh tempests move. This is the metaphysical poetry. You know, in the next stanza, in the very next line, John Donne does something peculiar which comes under the category of metaphysical poetry. Tear floods. This is the flood of tears. Can tears bring out floods? Can sighs bring out tempests? No, but they are. they are bringing out. That is why this is metaphysical poetry, right? So speaking to his wife, the poet says that like virtuous people. हाँ गुल्ला ऊपर हूँ।
प्रणाम अंकल, मैं
हाँ
ऊपर आऊँ क्या?
हाँ हाँ हाँ, ऊपर 130 में।
ठीक है अंकल, मैं 2 मिनट गाड़ी पार्क करके आई।
ओके, राइट। So let us melt and make no noise. No tear floods, nor sigh tempests move. It were profanation of our joys to tell the laity our love. Right? So, speaking to his wife, the poet says that, like virtuous people, let them also bid goodbye to each other without making any noise about it. Neither should they raise floods by tears, nor storm by their sighs. It would be a sort of vulgarization of their love to mourn and weep, and in this way, the entire world will come to know about this love which prevails between them. Their love is something sacred, and they must not defile it. You know, this is something about the peculiar aspect of love. The poet says, the lover says, that this love between them has been very sacred, has been holy, and they are not supposed to defile it. If she behaves in such a way, then the entire world will come to know.